Correction on the regular meeting minutes, June 16th, 2026. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor to approve?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
And then if there's no corrections to the executive session minutes for May 5th and May 19th, 2026, I would look for a motion to approve.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, new business. There's a proposal for a generator to be installed at a township leased building. It's at the food pantry. And you'll see in your packets, there's some details, PowerPoint slides and details of images showing where the generator would go and how that would improve the facility, as well as cost estimates and other kind of logistical information.
Mm-hmm.
Is anyone here for this? Is there anything you would like to say related to this?
Well, good evening. Is it on?
Yes.
Okay. Mayor and Council, thank you for the opportunity to come before you. And my name is Janine Gorman, Executive Director of the Flemington Area Food Pantry. But before I begin the discussion of the generator, I had two quick thank yous. First of all, shout out to the Raritan Township Fire Company, specifically Chief Doug Day of Company 21, who responded to a call at the pantry 2 weeks ago. And because of their expertise, they avoided a fire. So,
Wow.
very thankful. Number two, thank you to you and to the building that we have with the 50-year lease. So we really appreciate it. Tonight we're going to talk about the generator, and what we want to do is to install the generator. It would be behind the building, about 3 feet from the current condensing unit for refrigeration. So why do we need a generator? We're the largest food pantry in Hunterdon County. We serve over 7,000 people, 2,500 families on a 6-day a week. We're open about 6 days a week. During that time, we'll see anywhere from 60 to 100 families each time. And for us, unlike other businesses, when there's a power outage, we can't close. We need to keep our refrigeration and our freezer operational. We have 2 walk-ins and 8 commercial fridges and freezers. So power outages are when the community needs us the most. So beyond the building, we purchase about $300,000 in food every year. So protecting that food is critical for us. We also receive about $1.5 million in donated food. Again, if the refrigeration were to go down, that's just a waste. So all that is really important. But it really strengthens Hunterdon County's emergency food response by allowing us to continue receiving donations, coordinating volunteers, and serving our neighbors. So what we want to do, and you have in your package, is to install a 60-kilowatt, 3-phase, 480-volt Kohler automatic standby generator. And it will be professionally installed based on township regulations. So, in closing, we've been here for 40 years. We appreciate your support. We appreciate all we can do for this community. But this generator really ensures that in power outages and in emergencies, we can continue to do the work that we're here for. So we appreciate your approval to continue the project, to start the project. And if there's any questions, I'm certainly here to answer those now.
I have one. Maybe I missed this, so you guys fill me in. Is it just going to run your coolers? Is it lights? Is it the entire building?
It's the entire building.
It's the entire building, including the other side?
Not the other side.
Just your side?
Mm-hmm. There are 2 different panels.
Understood. Thank you.
Is this running off of natural gas or diesel?
It would be running off of natural gas.
Any other comments or questions?
The service you're providing for our community is, something you don't want to have, but it is clearly a necessity.
Yeah.
And I think we all are on the same page when we say thank you for what you do for keeping families fed in our community.
No, we appreciate that, and again, it's 500 volunteers in the community that make it happen, but without that building, it wouldn't happen, so we appreciate your support.
Herculean effort, for sure.
Joint effort.
And a worthwhile project, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So pass it along to your fire department too, for your fire company. I'd love to speak to them in person, yes.
Committeeman King will be sure to pass it along.
Perfect, thank you.
Thanks, Janine.
Okay.
Great, thank you.
All right.
So with that presentation, I think that concludes the information we need. I would look for a motion to approve.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Congratulations.
Good luck.
All right, next we have on the agenda a special event. This is a JRD pep rally for the Flemington Midget Football, scheduled for the 27th of August from 6:30 to 9:30. It's a request for several food trucks and a waiver of the special event fee. Is there anyone here tonight for this agenda item? No? You saw in your packet the information about the application.
This is an event they do every year,
Yes, exactly.
so.
Is there any questions or concerns by the committee? Then I would look for a motion to approve.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next is another special event, the Hunterdon Health Main Street Half Marathon. This would be on the 17th of October and the 18th of October. They have two routes, so you can either walk it or you can run it. And it's a very well-organized event. You see in your packets all the information, the detailed mapping, and that our professionals have reviewed, and there's no objections. So do I have any questions or comments on this? Then I would look for a motion to approve.
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next is the Hunterdon County Bicycle Network Letter of Support. This is a request for a letter of support to the county, as the county wants to apply for a grant to do studies to assess a bicycling network within the county. So certainly a worthwhile thing. It will take several years. It looks like it till 2029. Even if they get the grant, we won't have the data till 2029. So it is a long-term project.
Do you know how this differs from the last study they just did? And they worked on one for a couple of years, which we were a part of. I know it was more recreational, but it also talked about routes that were closer to shopping and business centers and things of that nature.
This is like the study that comes after that, right?
This is the
Where-
connectivity between all of them, right?
the-
Oh, between the counties, or?
No, our county, right? Within our county? Is that-
That's kind of what I saw, it looked like it was comprehensive already. So I'm just curious what this is above and beyond what that is.
So they did that, but now they need to know how do they go about it. So this
how do you-
prioritizes, it's like the double click into it, right? So just like we get a lot of reports that give recommendations of doing a further study, this is like the further,
So that was, this is more of how are we going to execute on that?
that's my understanding, correct?
Thank you for that clarity. I appreciate that.
With that clarity in mind, do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
All right, ordinance 2626, requirement for hiring of off-duty police officers. This is a public hearing on this ordinance. So motion to open the public hearing.
Motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Seeing no comments from the public, do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Then do I have a motion to approve ordinance 2626?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Psycho?
Yes.
Mr. McDade?
Yes.
Mr. Chu?
Yes.
Mayor Perry?
Yes. Ordinance 2627, various capital improvements. This is a $173,520 capital surplus fund public hearing. And remember, this is surplus that was for some sprinklers in the clerk's office, and instead we were able to replace that project with some fireproof cabinets and utilize some additional money that was saved to do some repairs at the police department. I will now open it to the public hearing if I have a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Bob, one of these days you're going to go down there, you said.
No, I'm going to do that. I'm waiting until the very end for a comment.
Okay. Motion to close the public hearing.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Do I have a motion to adopt ordinance 2627?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Psycho?
Yes.
Mr. McDade?
Yes.
Mr. Chu?
Yes.
Mayor Perry?
Yes. Okay, now it's ordinance 2628. This is definition for data centers. This is an introduction. Before I introduce it, I just want to share a prepared statement. So this ordinance that I hope will be introduced by this committee tonight, I believe strengthens our existing land use protection regarding data center development in the Township of Raritan. The proposed ordinance creates a clear and distinct definition for what data centers are, explicitly differentiates them from warehouses or flex space development, and please be aware, under Raritan Township's current land development code, section 296-131B1, where any use not designated as a principal permitted, accessory, or conditional use is specifically prohibited. Consequently, data centers are already not a permitted use in any zoning within the township. But the purpose of this ordinance is to establish a precise definition so there is no ambiguity regarding what constitutes a data center and what does not. It's important to understand that because data centers are not permitted anywhere in Raritan Township, any proposed data center project already requires a use variance from the Zoning Board of Adjustment. Under the New Jersey Municipal Land Use Law, municipalities are legally constrained in their ability to outright eliminate an applicant's right to request the variance. Passing this ordinance does not change that variance framework with our Zoning Board of Adjustment, but it provides a critical line of defense. It reinforces the resolution that was passed unanimously at our last meeting, Resolution 26-7-180, declaring our formal opposition to data center development due to severe potential impacts of our local environment, our infrastructure, and our community. Because local government authority under state law is inherently limited to unequivocally halting projects, it's just not possible. Real structural intervention must come at Trenton. To date, neither the governor nor the state legislature has enacted legislation to halt or meaningfully limit the expansion of data centers across New Jersey. And therefore, I urge this Township Committee, but certainly all our residents and concerned citizens, to reach out to your representatives in the state legislature, to reach out to your governor, call them to pass robust state-level legislation that will curb and regulate data center construction. Is there any other comments or thoughts related to this ordinance before I request an introduction?
So we're clear, this is not inconsistent with our master plan.
So once it gets introduced, it will go to the planning board for that evaluation.
I just love that language.
So this is strictly the section within Chapter 296 on definitions, but it's not inclusive of, say, the section within Chapter 296 that explicitly has the schedule of controls for prohibited uses, right? So
Correct.
That was one thing that I felt like would add a little bit more beyond just the section within definitions to actually list it in
Right.
that section under
So-
prohibited use.
Yeah,
It
so-
should be like ultra clear and call it out.
So I think I'd turn to legal counsel to get some guidance on that, because, as I said, so it's already a prohibited use. We're making it clear, but Joe, can we put it in the prohibited use section?
Yes, we can. And it ultimately would be like a belt and suspenders type of situation. It's not permitted in any zone already, so it's specifically prohibited. But then by just identifying it, as we do certain other uses in that, we can do so. And in fact, anticipation of maybe this being brought up, I did draft a revised ordinance that does do that. It actually includes data centers as we define it in the schedule of controls under section 131 to specifically include data centers as well. And in this, I also, based on some information that was provided for me from some of our other commissions and committees, I also added a further amendment to the definition of research facility to also, as we do with flex space and warehouse, to add a provision that also specifically does not include data centers. So I prepared that in anticipation of this discussion coming up in case the committee wants to act on an amended or ordinance that includes those provisions or as originally circulated in the packet.
Okay. So should we pass these out?
Yeah, absolutely.
So Joe, what's our ability, this may seem like an odd question as to the direction of the comments, what's our ability to change back from that to allow data centers at step one? And what I mean by that is this. It's kind of like a new frontier, it's a new territory. Things that are as they seem today may change in a year, 18 months, 2 years. And it may be something that is more palatable to a committee or to a town. I know that, they use generators now, some are water cooled, some are air cooled. All these things are moving parts, and one would think that it's going to evolve very quickly. One of the things where my mind goes, and again, back to that question, can we change, is, we have Hunterdon Healthcare that possibly, it looks like in kind it's going to be sold, right? It's been kind of announced to Atlantic Health. You're looking at those kind of systems and the data that they would use for data centers, the energy that they would draw and what they would need to run the state-of-the-art facility. It might be something where, again, I know they can go for a variance, but if it's something that's more palatable later on, because I don't want to see something large and silly, I want to be very clear about that. But just kind of looking down the road if things do change.
Yeah, and this actually comes up because, as everyone here knows, a lot of towns are adopting similar type ordinances and enacting, and this has come up in a number of towns. And yes, you're always able to amend your zoning ordinances further. Here, it's a simple fix because it's already prohibited. So by including it as a specifically prohibited use, it's not really changing any of the zoning. So nothing really further needs to be done. We can just amend adopt the ordinance as we're discussing to now. But at any time, if technology changes, because it has been brought up that, a lot of what is the problem is the cooling, is the noise, is a lot of how it currently operates. But we all know technology changes, it evolves, and if there ever is a time when it is appropriate, then the committee has the ability to revise and allow it to be a permitted use in certain zones, or if it really only makes sense, if it does come to a situation where it makes sense and it makes sense for a specific property, you can always potentially go under the redevelopment area as well. So you end up having a redevelopment plan that only specifically addresses that property. So it's still prohibited townwide, except because of that site is uniquely suited for it, it could be done that way as well. So there are options to go about it. And then just on that point, to kind of go a step further, is there are some pending litigations out there against towns that are adopting these prohibition ordinances, but in all of those towns, they were permitted uses in one or two of the zones. And so what the challenges are saying, well, it's permitted, it's allowed in the master plan, and now all of a sudden you're prohibited.
Yeah.
But here, that's not a risk because it's always been prohibited.
Yeah.
And then in the opposite way, if you make it permitted, you could have challenges, but if it makes sense, that's what I'm saying, if it makes sense for a specific property, you do it under redevelopment, that way it's limited. Or if technology changes and you do think it makes more sense 5, 10 years down the road for industrial type zones, then you'd want to go through the process of amending the master, or re-examining the master plan first to make sure that it remains consistent, because right now it's prohibited, which is consistent with the master plan. But if, you want to go through that process first to avoid any challenges on that, and if it does turn to be spun that way.
Yeah, clearly it's going to be the way of the future, right? So to have an open mind to where that's going to go, and have that
We can always,
conversation is good. I understand a lot better now, kind of from the ordinance side of it, or the planning board side, so I appreciate that.
Other comments?
so this revised draft, is this what we then,
It's up to the committee. You can make a motion to adopt as the
Yeah.
version that's circulated tonight, or the original in the
I,
package.
I think I prefer the amended draft, but
okay.
it's certainly, I mean, yeah, as Joe said, it's belt and suspenders.
Yeah, it adds the research, which was missed on, should be included, correct.
More clarity.
Correct, and then it just explicitly listed, just like we say, we don't want shipping containers, right? It just makes it very clear. So I would like to make a motion to introduce the revised ordinance 26-28
As amended, yeah, sure.
as amended.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. King? Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. McDade?
Yes.
Mr. Chu?
Yes.
Mayor Perry?
Yes. Ordinance 2629, various stormwater capital improvements. This is an introduction. This is basically capital improvements for things that have been funded through stormwater utility. I believe it's the pole barn and the leaf composting facility. Do I have a motion to introduce?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. McDade?
Yes.
Mr. Chu?
Yes.
Mayor Perry?
Yes. Executive Order 2026-4, mayoral appointment to the Wildlife Advisory Committee. I don't see Jeff here.
No.
By the power vested in me, I, Bradford Perry, Mayor of Township of Raritan, County of Hunterdon, on this, the 11th day of August 2026, do hereby appoint Jeff Vaccarello to the Wildlife Advisory Committee, replacing Ray Simon's 3-year unexpired term expiring December 31st, 2027. That's it. I always like that statement. All right, now we're on to the consent agenda. All matters listed in the consent agenda are considered to be routine and will be enacted by one motion in the form listed below. There will be no separate discussion on these items. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately. Is there anything that anyone on the committee would like to remove from the consent agenda? If not, then I would look for a motion to adopt the consent agenda, Resolution 268182 through 268186.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. McDade?
Yes.
Mr. Chu?
Yes.
Mayor Perry?
Yes. Resolution 268187. This is for an award of a bid for the Lifestyle 80s Road resurfacing. This is, I'm going to try to explain this, but our business administrator, Karen, can help me out if I fail here.
Sure.
But we've went out to bid multiple times, and the bids have always been above what we have allocated in funds for the reconstruction of these roads. And so we have a choice right now. The choice is to either reject these bids, and we can wait next year to add additional funds to the pot of money we already have for these roads to fund the reconstruction. We can, I guess we could go out to bid again if we were so inclined, but we've already went out twice.
I mean, you can reject these bids and
go out to
bid again.
right.
But the work will not get done this year because it'll be too late in the year to do
Okay.
the construction.
And going out to rebid again, it will probably still be too high. And your third option is to accept the bid, knowing that there is a gap, and we will have to fund the gap of about $150,000
For number 15?
Information on these roads, or are these, what,
Yeah, my understanding is yes, they're fully re-engineered, yeah. So it's about a $150,000 gap, is that correct?
For number 15? For both?
What do you mean for both?
Just what feedback have we gotten from our CFO? on that?
16.
What's 16? Oh, no, just for resolution 26-187.
187.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have we gotten any feedback from our CFO on this?
Yeah, the CFO has provided us with the solution. If you choose to move forward with this, we have funds available.
Well, the funds available, though, would be coming from what we've allocated for the fire truck and rescue truck. So the money that we put aside. So,
Not from surplus?
no.
So technically,
Well,
we
that's-
set money aside. It's not a trust fund. It's there for you to use. It's basically just the CFO earmarking that. It's not, it doesn't require you to do anything more than approve this. It allows the CFO basically just to use the funds that are available.
How do those funds go back?
You would have to decide
Put them
next
back
year to
next
put
year.
them back in as part of the budget.
this is a habitual thing for us.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking if we can use surplus.
It's not a habitual thing if we don't agree to do it. But
Yes, true.
That's why I'm asking about surplus. That's what it's meant for, a rainy day when you have expenses higher than you anticipated.
So with the when you use the surplus, then it becomes like an emergency appropriation.
yeah, it would actually impact our budget significantly next year if we were to do that.
Can I ask we hopefully will have a warehouse open soon. There's pilot money. Is that planned for this year or no?
No,
Can't because you.
No, we
no,
didn't.
the budget's already been set.
You have to notice that during your budget season that you have.
I just looked
So
my time like
it'll be noticed for next year, so then we can use it next year.
So it's a promise to pay back if we take it from that fund that we've been trying to build?
I'm a bit uncomfortable with doing that.
Yeah.
And kicking it down the road a little bit, and then you'd have to then double it next year to
Well,
make
that's-
up for what you take out.
That's
So
the problem.
it would mean that we'd have to delay the reconstruction of this road by a year.
I know,
This road is pretty bad.
Yeah, but so we would have to fund some repairs to it, some immediate repairs. So thank you, Councilman McDade, for bringing that up. To the tune of about 15,000, we would do some repairs, and we can get that money to do that this year, and to get us to next year when we can fully reconstruct the road.
So all right, so we got those roads, we got additional roads we approved last month. Are we gonna have the resources to get all that done?
So that's an answer I can't provide you.
This is going out to bid. This is not being done internally.
Oh, that's true. So yes, the answer is yes.
I guess
because
I
it's an
don't
after bid.
understand the committee woman's question. I mean, I understand her question. I don't understand the answer. Why does it have to be an emergency
To use
funds?
surplus?
Like, I mean, we, expenses are what they are right now, right? Like, why does it have to be earmarked as expensive? We should be able to use that money to fill the gap here to make sure that we solid up our roads.
Because you didn't plan for it and put it in your budget this
Yep.
year. The capital surplus is there, but because you didn't anticipate this and say, we're going to set $150,000 aside to close the gap,
How are we supposed to anticipate that, though, if we don't know?
that's why it's
So
considered
you
emergency
use the
appropriation.
surplus from the year before in your new budget, right? But you can't use it whenever you want throughout the year.
Which is why the CFO is saying if the committee wishes to, there are funds available that would not require an emergency appropriation, but you would then have to replenish that pot next year.
And those funds are sitting with,
Fire and rescue.
They're set aside, which is not a true finance term. It's just that the CFO has made a note and included in the budget to have X amount of dollars,
yeah.
Right.
which are,
So-
the committee has said they want to use for the fire.
My understanding of that, going back to 2024, was that the money was, I'll say set aside, but it was earmarked for the fire truck and could not be touched, period, end of story. That's what was told to us.
So that's only, but that would have to be put in like a trust, where it's then earmarked for specific. So the open space fund, for example, is a trust.
Yeah, the
It can
snow
only
trust.
be used
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
for those
Correct.
things. But if it's capital,
Yeah.
that the committee did not necessarily intend to spend this year. It's just sitting in a pot of money that is available to you.
Until it's appropriated, which what you'll be doing with this ordinance.
Yeah.
Until it's actually appropriated.
Yeah.
That money is just the funds of the township.
Yeah. Well,
Now, you can say, when you budget, you say, I'm gonna use so much for this, so much for that, so much for the other, but until you actually adopt the appropriation, either resolution or ordinance, depending on the mechanism, that does not officially become bound.
So kind of what I'm hearing is maybe we should put the last couple of years, inclusive of this, to be honest with you, in a trust for the fire truck.
There are only certain things you can establish trusts for.
Oh my God, I'm gonna smash my face.
Municipal finance at its best, yeah. I think where I am before we formally do anything is, we've made a long-term commitment that we are behind on investment of apparatus, and to ensure fiscal responsibility, we are putting money aside every year to make sure that we never fall behind in replacing the apparatus. I don't want to step away from that commitment because of the safety for the entire community. If, as unfortunate as it is, that means that we spend $15,000 to patch a few holes in a road, which I'm sure is, in dire need of replacement, then unfortunately those community members that use that road will have to deal with that for another year, rather than, in my opinion, sacrificing a commitment that we've made for the entire community safety.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate that, there was nothing done wrong by our professionals, by the township. This was bid appropriately. It was assessed, the costs were assessed appropriately when we came up with the budget. It's just the costs of petroleum have went so high with the war that's going on that it's just much more expensive at this time. And that could go down, we just don't know.
Yeah. Do we think the cost overall next year is going to go down?
We just don't know.
I think we have the budget plus 15% to account for the increase of costs, rather than budgeting based upon today's cost. Like, we just have to budget knowing things are going to go up.
Yep.
That's what we have to learn from this moving forward, so we don't do that again in next year's budget cycle.
If I could just remind the committee that the funds that were that we found to do this project were done through reappropriation.
I don't think it was all of it. I think we budgeted some.
It was $777,000 that was reappropriated for this project. So it's not.
Okay.
It's not that you guys,
Under.
budgeted for it and didn't
All right.
anticipate.
Well,
Yeah.
still a lesson to take forward into the next year's budget cycle is, if it costs $800,000 today, budget $1 million, right? Like, that's what I think we need to learn.
Question, we collected fine money from a illegal truck depot. Does that get used anywhere? No? Okay.
Not until the next
It's not,
budget.
it has to be anticipated revenue to be used, and that's
So
unanticipated.
it sounds like we saw the problem next year.
Yes.
Yeah, that's my recommendation.
Look, I hate this because our roads are in such horrible shape, and I just don't want to kick this can down the road, but I think based on what we've received and can't spend in two places, not only in fines, but in terms of pilot, sounds like next year is the appropriate.
And we're not losing any grant money for this or anything. Nothing's
Right.
expiring.
Right.
I'm good with kicking it.
So to be clear, we can't put the monies that have been saved the last 2 years into a trust? Or we
Trust can only be established for specific reasons, and that's something that the CFO would have to investigate.
Can we,
And from what I
Investigate.
understand, the reason it's not in the trust is because this is not considered, not approved by the state for a trust, but I will ask that question again.
So we could, thank you for triggering that thought, solve this problem this year, and the monies that we were going to spend next year for the things we're getting this year, make sure get replenished into the fund.
It's a slippery slope.
And that-
I get it, but it's there, but we all have to say that's how we want to appropriate that fund. That's an option. I didn't think of it, but thank you for giving me that thought.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do we
So
have
it's
to
not
vote?
the end of the world. We're going to defer this. We could solve it. Look, if we're saying if we approve this tonight, it's still not going to get done this year? Did I hear that correctly?
No, it will get
No,
done
it's
this year.
private party. It's not our guy. It's a,
we
If
have
we-
to approve it tonight, it's not getting done. It's, you're getting it patched for 15 grand, correct?
Right.
So the 15 grand is because the DPW has already gone out and replaced all the inlets, and now there's gaps around them that we can't leave.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, we have to repair.
For any-
Yeah,
So that's what the 15K is for, is to go in and patch those gaps,
yep.
which will then be torn up when you replace it.
Yeah, so,
It's a 15K for a temporary.
Yep.
so what I'm hearing from others on this committee is there's more of an appetite to solve this next year
To reject this bid.
and solve this more holistically next year.
That's what I'm hearing as well, committee.
I'm not willing to sacrifice a commitment that I made to investing for apparatus.
I want to,
Yep.
I have to talk myself into this and what I'm hearing from everyone.
You get a vote, just like all of
No,
us,
no, I just want to
so.
make sure so there's somebody's going to have to make a motion here, right, on what we're approving this or not.
Yeah, so Joe, is it a motion to approve and you vote no, or is it a motion to reject?
No, we would
You
have
do
to
either?
adopt a separate resolution to reject all bids. It would be a different format of a resolution, so we would just not move, my recommendation would be we just don't move this resolution at all. We don't take any action on this resolution, and then at the following meeting, we'd have to prepare a resolution rejecting all bids for this publicly bid, because since it's a publicly bid contract, it has to follow certain
Yeah.
procedures.
Or we could just all vote nay right now, right?
Well, you could, but I mean, you don't.
It seems odd.
Yeah,
Oh, you'd have to-
yeah,
you'd have
still
another-
have to have another resolution.
Because
That's
it's a
why I
public-
would recommend just
You don't
not
have-
taking any action on this resolution.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
have a resolution.
I make a motion to do nothing on resolution 26-8.187.
That's the best motion you've made.
Okay, thanks. I'm getting better at it here.
Okay, so we will just skip that.
Yes, and then, next meeting, we'll have a resolution on rejection. We have to set forth, procedure, we have to set forth the basis for the rejection of the bids, being that it exceeds all estimates.
Okay.
And that we,
Yep.
so we just have to have that papered, otherwise it can get us far.
All right, resolution 26-8-128. This is an award of bid for Reeville Avenue resurfacing.
Are we over on this one? or-
We are not.
Oh, okay. All right,
So the money that has been appropriated is sufficient.
all right.
This is a grant, so this is not something that
Mhm.
we've received the grant money, and we have enough to cover and then some, but you can't use more than that. In other words, it's not a solution to say what we're not using, we can put to the other, you can't.
Right.
This grant is specific to Rayville. Just want to make that clear.
How much was the grant?
I don't remember.
I don't remember. I think we estimated that this was going to be over $600,000. So it came in under.
All right, well,
Yep.
I'm glad we have a grant. That's a good way to pay for things.
Contracting, is that what you're looking at?
It goes to the,
The,
No, we take the
the
lowest.
lowest ones, the top
So
line.
top line wins.
Top line, whatever.
It's like schools, I take the cheapest.
Take the cheapest option, yeah.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Psychos?
Yes.
Mr. McDade?
Yes.
Mr. Chu?
Yes to a grant.
Mayor Perry?
Yes. All right, financial claims for payment. You see the bills. We must pay them. It is in the amount of $1,255,822.99. Do I have a motion to pay the bills?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Psychos?
Yes.
Mr. McDade?
Yes.
Mr. Chu?
Yes.
Mayor Perry?
Yes. Liaison reports. Okay, Board of Health did not have a meeting. However, I do have a police report. There was our JMR system on Sleepy Hollow Drive, and it actually turned up some very interesting information. I know, Bob, I'll pass it down because I'm sure you're going to want to see this. It has an enforcement rating of high. 33% of the cars driving there are in an enforcement speed. So
We finally found one.
there
Wow.
is a
This is like a
location
little neighborhood
where there's a
road.
significant amount of speeding. It's a 25 mile per hour zones, and a lot of people are going 35, 40 miles an hour. So that's something that we're going to obviously pay attention to and look at.
How did this road come to our attention? Through a resident or?
I don't recall. Usually a complaint.
Yeah, but I think that partnership with the community is a good thing, where they're bringing to our attention, then we use JMR, and then we can really
And as I
precisely.
told the chief, they don't stop when they see flashing speed limits. They stop when they get a red and blue light.
That causes attention, yeah. Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
In addition, the police is still doing a great job in everything they do. They all had active shooter training. They all also had advanced interrogation technique training over the month.
That's great.
And I don't have an update for recreation or stormwater, so I will turn it over to Deputy Mayor Fatu.
Thank you, Mayor. Tomorrow we have an open space meeting. I may have missed the prior one, and I will defer to Committeeman King if he has an update on open space. I will say the planning board has resolved something that we've been working on for quite a number of weeks and months over at Diamond Nation, where the community may have observed from time to time when they hold special tournaments where large people come from the greater area. Parking has been a challenge in those instances. Typically, it's in the fall time period in November, but occasionally throughout the year. Not many events per se, but has caused some challenges with not having sufficient parking. So pleased that we were able to work with the applicant and collaborate to have a parking management plan that is largely in place today, and we were able to, through the application process, then find a solution that we believe provides and ensures the safety of our community in that area. So that was something that took some back and forth, but I think all in all parties involved are quite pleased. It's been sort of an ongoing observation that we were then able to formally approve, and we all feel really good about that. So that's largely what's been going on at the planning board. We also had Central High School come through with some minor projects, Hunterdon Medical Center, et cetera. So some things going on in the community to continue a lot of the services and entities that we are all familiar with and use often. So happy to report that. And Environmental Commission meets this Thursday. Open Space meets Wednesday. So we'll have updates after this week.
Great, thank you. Committeeman McDade.
Well, as usual, our courts continue to operate smoothly. The summertime's their busy time of year, and they're doing a great job. The historians were in the process of scheduling the painting of the interior of the old schoolhouse, which is in front of Lowe's. Hopefully we'll get that done in the next month or two, and maybe get it done by the end of the year. Also, the historians are planning an exhibit at Community Day, which will feature many before and after photos of the old schoolhouse, so you can see what it looks like now and what it did 150 years ago. So
That's cool.
that's all.
Great, thank you. Committeeman Sipos.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mayor. DPW doing a great job working on inlets in and around the township as we speak. Roadside mowing is underway and street sweeping is consistent as well, at least when the machine is working. Basketball court over at Blackwell was completed, which we're really, really proud of. It's a highly used park, so that's cool that Blackwell is getting used the way it is. The dog park will be coming in a few weeks as well. We'll start some work on that.
I saw the stakes put out for the concrete pad. Yeah.
Looking forward to seeing that.
Can I also add, I did hear from a community member who's a member of the local Flemington Pickleball Club, and it's quite popular. As I don't play pickleball, but many who do, it's a large group there. They are quite pleased to see the pickleball courts in Blackwell Park. So they have now another place in the community. Yeah, so they're very happy. I just wanted to share that. They were interested to know when we might install lighting, and I said that's cost prohibitive at this point, but just they're very happy. So I'm glad we were able to make that project work.
Absolutely. All right, we got preventative maintenance on all of our vehicles. That's going well, too. I stop in quite often, especially over the summer, see the guys working and rap with them a little bit, and they have a new vehicle, if not 2 or 3 in there every single day, and they're crushing it out. Rescue, no report for this meeting. OEM, they've been doing a great job as well. We have a lot of our personnel and our CERT personnel, volunteers. We're over at the Corn Tomato Festival and Beer Festival. Committeewoman Fatu and Committeeman King were over there, so they had a great old time, and our people are doing a great job coordinating at all of these different events. When it comes to severe storms, I know we've all been on the emails. There's a lot of coordination with the borough, with the county. Chris Balin and Raymond do a great job communicating everything. They run through all of the what-ifs with some of these potential storms. We've dodged a lot of them, I'll be honest with you. A lot of split around Raritan Township for whatever reason this year, but we'll take it. And as always, sign up for Nixle. You will get those notifications as to severe storms and any other weather that could be coming through. As for the RTMA, we did not meet. We do have a meeting coming up next week. We have negotiations that will be coming up, which is always my favorite. Maintenance Supervisor Anthony Rivera just started. We have cybersecurity requirements that we're upping clearly as a vital resource to our town, so we're protecting that. And we have Employee Appreciation Day coming up at the end of the month. So I have, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Committeeman King.
Thank you, Mayor. I did attend the open space meeting, and there's really not much new to report other than the fact that they continue to aggressively look for open space, and that it's a fantastic group. There was a wildlife management meeting, and once again, I attempted to see if I could expand the properties that we do hunting on, and I was once again reminded that would set a precedent. So expect for the next bidding season, not only would they like to expand open space properties that we have acquired that are adjacent or contiguous with what we already have, but we may see some folks come back and look for new properties and properties that we may have turned down in the past. I am just planting those seeds. But it's a great group. They are active. We're fortunate to have the talent we do and the data they collect. And so they're going to continue to help us out from that perspective. On to our firefighters. They attended 86 calls in the month of July. That was one shy of what they did in June. So the numbers are still quite high. 516 year to date, and I think they are going to be on a record to break that. 6 of those fires were structural fires. And so our training is paying off, and they're saving lives, and they're trying to minimize the damage to those structures. There were 563 person hours in the month of July between calls and drills. So they continue to drill actively to keep their skills up to date. They're doing a fantastic job. Please support our volunteer fire department.
Thank you, Committeeman King. And you had me thinking about wildlife management. Is there a plan for them to issue a report to the committee at the end of the year with their recommendations? Or how do they expect
I will certainly ask that. But
is that something that we can just ask them to provide?
Sure. So, yeah, of course. The current leases are up in July of 2027. So you have time to review and make that
I
decision.
was going to remind them before that came up to make
Yes.
sure that gets in front of
Yes.
us.
Yes.
Committee, right? So,
We should get in front of us with plenty of time, right, so we can digest it. Yeah.
sure, if you want somebody in the year, I will, because they're going to be meeting at least, I believe, once, if not twice more before the year end.
Okay. Great. Thank you. All right. Now it's time for public comment. This is public comment limited to 3 minutes per person on any issue, not limited to the agenda. Motion to open public comment. All in favor? Aye. Good evening.
Hi, Hope Cohen from 47 Leffler Hill Road. Very interested, Committeeman King, to hear that the Open Space Advisory Committee is seeking open space to purchase. I have a suggestion, and that would be 61 Leffler Hill Road.
They have to be willing to sell.
That could perhaps be a solution to the never-ending issues over there. I know that
100%.
I really would like to get an insight into what DEP is up to, because I think they are in working in conjunction in some way with the township, but I know Jeff Vaccarella and company are working very hard on this. It is up to 9 violations to the owner and 9 violations to the tenant. The violations, township violations, those have been rescheduled. Court has been scheduled again, this time to August 26th. So I'm guessing there was some kind of negotiation going on behind the scenes, but the problem does not go away. I informed the zoning office that we're seeing the illegal road now graveled, so looking even more permanent. There's also all kinds of structures popping up, chicken coops and, I don't know, mini greenhouses or whatever. Every time you turn around, there's something new. So, you know, I don't know what to do, you know, other than thank you guys and urge you guys to remember, keep in mind, front of mind, keep the zoning office on it, and anything you guys can do about finding out where DEP is on their set of violations, because that's like a morass I can't get through, so to speak. And you might want to consider buying the land and solving the problem that way.
Well, thank you for the update. And Joe, because it's litigation that's going on, I would assume it's difficult for us to
Right.
get additional information.
I mean, yes, and about any of the pending violations, if there's any new violations, anything that continuing that the zoning office can issue new violations on,
Right.
yes, absolutely. But yeah, because of the fact, any of the current violations pending in the litigation with the court, some of those might be confidential. I'm personally not involved with those, that's through our prosecutor, so I couldn't even tell you right now what's going on with them, but some of that would be confidential that we wouldn't be able to release publicly at this time.
Okay. Any other public comment? Well, thank you for ensuring we had some public comment tonight. Motion to close public comment.
I don't have to go down tonight.
All in favor?
Aye.
You see the upcoming meeting agenda topics, and we do not have to return to executive session, so motion to adjourn at 7:54.
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Adjourned.
He just wanted to bang the gavel.
Evening.